Hello again. The last video I did about me coming out has had a lot of views, but I inadvertently finished it with a cliffhanger about somebody setting fire to the house, and I've had a few people saying, "Can you elaborate on that?" So this is what this one's all about. So again, if you're watching on TikTok, it's more than a minute. So I'd moved into the old town, and this flat was in Bridgewater Street, opposite the Devonshire pub. And the ground floor was a dentist, and the next floor up was where the flat was, which was the living room, kitchen, an open plan staircase to the top floor where the bedrooms and bathroom were. So top bedroom is about 80 foot from the ground. And this place became like the centre for all those young gay people because we had nowhere else to go and whatever. And at any given time, it could be me, Alan, who owned the flat, Dave, Gary, Ronnie, Brian Peck, Ian, Tony, Graham, and another guy called Steve. He was sort of outside group, but you're still there. And at the time, I just started seeing my first proper relationship, Tommy. Anyway, get back to this. He comes up into it again later on. So any given up, we'd all be there, a couple of bottles of wine. The banter would be off the scale. It was just brilliant. Absolutely loved it. But then Dave started seeing this Steve. Now Steve, you've got to remember that we're all like 1920-ish about that time. So Dave started seeing this Steve, who's got form. He'd been to like a naughty boys school and all that. But then Steve found out that Dave was also having fun with Alan, who owned the flat. Now, New Year's Eve, me and Tommy had been to a party at a friend's house. So obviously the following day, we were still in bed about 12 o'clock, roughly the proverbial. Suddenly the bedroom door just starts opening. I'm thinking, what's it doing that for? There's nobody in. And the next thing you know, it's all this smoke pushing it open. Because what had happened is, he'd found out about them two, gone in with a can of petrol, poured it all over, struck a match, the whole lot just went up. Didn't bother to check if anybody was in the house. So of course, Tommy goes into training straight away, and he's like, "You get out that window, start shouting." Remember, no mobile phones, the landline was downstairs, open plan staircase, so there was no way we were going to get down there. He runs in the bathroom, gets towels, soaks them, putting them up on the door, both at the window shouting. Smoke still pouring in, and it got so bad we literally couldn't see each other. And I turned around and said to him, "I'm just going to go and sit on the bed and let it happen." And so calm, he's like, I won't use the language, grabbed hold of me, pulled me down to get under the smoke where we need to be, and he had hold of me, wouldn't let me go. So basically that man saved my life. Anyway, hear the sirens coming and I think they're not going to make it, Next thing you know, ladders up at the window, and Tommy says, "You go first." Again. So I have to climb up the window, 80 foot up onto this ladder with this fireman, making sure it gets down properly, chucked into the fire engine, given oxygen. And after that, trauma sets in again because I can't remember a thing about it. A couple of days later, we were allowed to go back into the flat with the fire station officer. There was nothing. All I had left was the clothes I was standing in. I'm just saying, fancy dress party, me and him dressed as bloody Charlie Chaplin and, well, you never know in my case. Staircase was completely gone. There was just no way we could have got down. And the fire chief said, "I'll be honest with you, lads, if we'd have been 3 minutes later, you wouldn't be here now. It's that close." Papers phoned up, tried to get a story, but it didn't dig deep enough. They could have had a major scandal there. Can you imagine that 1918 runcorn? But they didn't. Made the front page. But it didn't go anywhere when it should have done. So what happened is me and Tommy went and found a place living in Liverpool. So I moved back to Liverpool and my life started again with him until I messed it up, which I still bitterly regret to this day. Especially when I'm recounting this, and there you go, that bloke saved your life. But it was really, really scary until that calm came down, and I'm just like, nah, I'm going. So there you go, great fire of old Runcorn town. I even went back a couple of years ago to look at the flat, and it's just standing there in the pavement, looking up, thinking, you were hanging out that window. Scary times. Not never happened, as I say, not happened to Steve. He's still knocking around as far as I know. Most of the guys that are still, most of them I'm still in touch with. So that's nice. Oh, and a quick thing I want to put at the end of this. When I did the coming out story and all that, and I was working at Lennon's in Runcorn, and of course everybody, I was just a talk of the shop for a while, which is understandable. But I would have to say thanks to Cal Schofield, Cassie Bogle and Diane Hughes, because they became my little Charlie's Angels and took over and would not anybody get near me or cause me any trouble. So thanks, girls. Even all these years on, I still remember you for that. Thank you so much. Okay, here we go. Sorry. Thank you. And I hope you enjoyed that story. Can't think of any little cliffhanger to leave on this one. No, not that one. So cheers. Thank you. Ta-ra.